guys, tonight on Beer Geek Nation, we are looking at Dogfish Head Brewing's 90-minute Imperial IPA. Hey guys, welcome to Beer Geek Nation. I'm your host, Chris Steltz. Tonight we are doing another East Coast Imperial IPA. This is a beer that probably almost everyone on the East Coast has had. I hope they've had. If not, you need to go get yourself a bottle because it's kind of a staple beer for Dogfish Head. Dogfish Head has their 60, 90, and 120-minute IPAs. The 60, phenomenal IPA. 90-minute, I've only ever had it a couple times, but each time I've had it, it's been really good. 120-minute, trying to be democratic about this. If you get a bottle that has about 5 years on it, and when I say that, I mean it's been cellaring for about 5 years, it's, you know, a really good beer. A fresh bottle of 120-minute is really hard to get through. It's basically like drinking peach schnapps. It's the best way to describe it. That's what it tastes like to me. And it's like, I think it's like 15, 16%, something like that. It's crazy. But we're not looking at that one. Going back to this, we are looking at their 90-minute IPA. It's actually an Imperial IPA. Comes in at 9% alcohol by volume. It's a very British style. The base of it is very British, but the hop load is more of a, you know, West Coast meets the East Coast, kind of a hop bomb. I mean, that's literally what it is. And if I can geek out a little bit here on the actual production of this beer, it's actually a nightmare to make, I would imagine. I know from a home brewer's standpoint of view, this beer would be an absolute nightmare to make. Basically, when beer is brewed, and this is, you know, coming from a very generic look at it, but it's brewed for either 60, 90, or, you know, 2 hours. And that's an average. Some are less, some are more, it depends on the beer. Anyway, usually you're gonna hop, you know, you're gonna do a bitterness hopping right in the beginning. They're gonna boil all the way through. Then at the, you know, near the end, you're gonna add aroma hops, and, you know, you can flame out and add like more aroma hops. So you're gonna get, basically the longer a hop is in the boil, the more bitter it's gonna get. The less time it's in the boil, the more aroma you're gonna get out of it. This beer, they boil for 90 minutes. Every single minute gets a new hop addition into it. So basically they have to pay super close. Actually, they have an instrument that does it now. It's like a shaking machine that shakes them on every minute. But this beer has so many hops in it, it's just crazy. The 120 is even more insane. And then on top of that, they dry hop the hell out of these things. And when I say dry hop, basically when it's in the tank fermenting, they just throw more hops into it, and, you know, it gets more of that hop aroma and everything. So yeah, with that laid down, let me get into the pour on this one. Let you know how it smells, how it tastes, and I'll get you the verdict. So for as much hops are actually in here, you don't get a lot of hoppiness right out of the bottle. This bottle is probably, it's about a month old. So, I mean, some of the hoppiness is going to go down, but it's not, I mean, I've had this fresh and it's not that big of a difference. You know, with some West Coast double IPAs, you pop that bottle and you automatically get, I call it the hop bubble, you know, in the cup and the. But anyway, you don't get that a lot here. You know, smelling the beer, I do get a lot of earthy, so it's going to be like more of the noble hop variety, earthy, spicy. There's a, you know, a touch of citrus, a touch of like mango and peach. So there's definitely some hoppiness in it. You do get a lot of alcohol on the aroma of this one, which can kind of take you back a little bit. It's actually not, you got to kind of give it a chance. Hear me out on this one and give it a chance. It is, you know, the smell and the taste are a little bit different in this one. But you can see, I mean, the color is, you know, very, very traditional double IPA. It's that light orange, nice white, off-white eggshell kind of head. Good lacing. You can see some of the alcohol sticking to the glass. But yeah, you know, as far as the aroma, it does smell a lot like a double IPA. It's got that sweet fruity esters from the yeast. It's got all the sweet malty characters into it, like from the British side of kind of aspects of this beer. But as far as the taste goes, let me. Yeah, lots of bitterness right up front. Peach, citrus, mango, kind of the tropical fruit varieties mixed in there with a little bit of pininess. You get a lot more of the hops in the actual taste than you do in the aroma. As soon as you take a drink, peach, mango, a little bit of pininess right away, tons of bitterness right away. And then your mouth's like, hey, what's going on? By the time it gets to the middle of the tongue, back of the tongue, it's completely smoothed out by a really, really sweet malt flavor. This is actually a really malty double IPA. And a lot of times, if it's a West Coast IPA, it's gonna dry out at the end, so you're not really gonna get much of that malt kind of sticking around. This one does not do that. You get malt, basically from the middle of the tongue all the way back. Tons of sweetness, bready, big malt notes, caramely, and it sticks with you. It really does. So it makes the next couple of drinks all meld together and even out. And it's actually a really well-balanced beer for being, as kind of an extreme beer as it is, and I use that loosely, but this is kind of one of those beers that, the East Coast takes a lot of crap because we're kind of a more traditional brewing style, and that's just, where the West Coast is kind of doing all those experimental things and with the hops and everything. But I don't see that as being true, and I think Dogfish Head has kind of been one of those breweries that's kind of put themselves out there as saying, look, we can do extreme stuff too. Sure, it's not all great, but they make stuff like this that is just kind of a notch in the belt of the East Coast breweries. But yeah, as far as the taste, it's very well balanced. There is alcohol burn. It does warm. You start to feel that warming sensation. But overall, it's a very well balanced double IPA. Lots of hop notes, lots of sweet malt, kind of everything I look for in a double IPA. So, these are all opinion based anyways, but for me, I really like it. If you like, like Sculp and Double Trouble, Bell's Hop Slam, all those kind of beers, you're really going to like this one. Even if you've had 60 Minute, definitely try this one. It's kind of, takes 60 Minute and throws it off a cliff a little bit, But again, this is Dogfish Head. It is their 90-minute Imperial IPA, 9% alcohol percent by volume, year-round beer. You can get it almost all on the East Coast. I know they get it out in California now. If not, this is a pretty easy beer to get as far as trades and everything. So until next time, cheers.